It's another Fareham haul. Ahoy hi everybody, and welcome to another haul video. It is Sunday the 23rd of February. Yesterday was Fareham Record Fair, so I took advantage of that and a day off and being just after payday to have a little traipse around Fareham. I got there early. The fair didn't start till 10:30. I left home about 9 by the time I'd stopped for breakfast. I got to Fareham about 20 to 10 I think it was, and that gave me enough time to go around the charity shops. It was a game of, I was going to say game of two halves, but it wasn't. It was a game of 3/3. First charity shop I went into was a blank. First time I went in is it's a services charity. I can't remember exactly the name of it. First time I went in there, when I discovered it a couple of years ago, I managed to pick up Stevie Wonder's Woman in Red soundtrack for £1, I think it was. Since then, I think they've only had exactly the same stock. I don't think they've got any new stock in on their vinyl or their CDs. So the 2 times I've been in since, drawn a blank. But then I went round to the more mainstream charity shops, and I managed to pick up in the first sort of 4 in a trot, and in 2 of them I picked up CDs, and those were Phil Collins' Serious Hits Live. Really happy to have picked this up. It has just been reissued, but no, I don't need to pick that up. I had this on cassette when I did my work experience at Woolworths. They weren't allowed to pay us because it was formal work experience, but as a thank you, it was another girl from my school did it with me, Teresa. As a thank you, they let us choose an album of our choice and a box of chocolates. So I think I had a box of Black Magic, and I picked up this on cassette mainly because it was just a nice package, and it was a little bit more expensive than everything else, and I like Phil Collins anyway. So I had it on cassette. Have never upgraded it to CD, but happy to pick that up for £1. I think all the others, yeah, so that was in Rowan's Hospice, and then in British Heart Foundation I think it was, I picked up 5 more. First up was Beyonce's Dangerously in Love. I'd previously picked up I Am Sasha Fierce, enjoyed that. So I thought I'd pick this up for £1. It's got Crazy in Love on it, which I absolutely love anyway, and various other well-known tracks. Managed to pick up another of the Radio 1 Live Lounge CDs. This is volume 2, so I'd previously picked up 1, 3 and 5. So so pleased to pick this up. So like all the others, it's mixtures of artists doing their own songs and covers of other people's songs. This next one, I was no way on earth I was going to leave it behind. I'll probably use it as a prize or something at some point. It is Prince's 3121. So I don't need, I have the album. It is a wonderful album. This is in good condition. It's got the booklet and everything. So yeah, for 99p, I wasn't going to leave it behind. Let's get back in there. So I picked that up. One of the few, if possibly maybe the only Take That album I didn't already have, and that's Nobody Else. So this was their last pre-split album, apart from their greatest hits. Shore's on here, Back for Good's on here, Never Forget's on here. Those are the singles. And still, although this is stickered differently, those are all 99p. Which around the corner they had a 50p or 3 for £1 section. There wasn't 3 that I wanted, but I was really happy to find this. Although something's nagging me that I have already got it, but for 50p it was worth a pickup. I have everything that's on this, but even if I haven't got this actual CD, this is a Japanese release, Robbie Williams' Angels. So it's basically a combination of all the Angels CD singles. So it's got Angels from the B-side, Falling in Bed Again. Sorry, I lied. It's a combination of the... Yeah, combination of the Angels and the Let Me Entertain You singles. That's better. Yeah, so it's got the full-length version of it, Let Me Entertain You. It's got Cheap Love Song, which is a B-side, an acoustic version of Angels, which is a B-side, live version of Back for Good, which is a B-side, the medley of songs from the Full Monty that he did at the Brit Awards with Tom Jones, again, B-side. His cover of the Pet Shop Boys, I wouldn't normally do this kind of thing, B-side, and Mother's Milk in It mix of South of the Border, and the Stretch and Burns Rock and Roll mix of Let Me Entertain You. So I've got everything on this, even if I haven't got this actual CD. I might have this actual CD. Can't remember. I've got a nagging feeling that I did pick it up. But yeah, for 50p. That was the CDs. Everything else is vinyl. Yeah, so after that one, I went on, and then there was three sort of... This is the main stretch of shops for shopping centre, and then there's a few more charity shops, and went in all of them, and they were all drew blanks in all of them. Then I went round to Oxfam, and they never let me down. The Oxfam is a special... Oh, I say special, you know, these are in lots of places, but it is one that just does books and music. So they always get decent records in. They're priced fairly... They're not charity, you know, they're not just £1, but they are cheaper than you would normally find them, and they always comment on them if they're really good quality or if there's any problems with them. So for £2.99, I picked up Elton John's A Single Man. The only Elton John I own at the moment is a hits compilation, and for my last music quiz I did, I needed to buy Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player for the best-selling album of the year question, and I enjoyed that album. So yeah, I like Elton. I don't, you know, he's not one of my favourite artists, but he's an artist I like, so I will pick up his stuff if I find it at, you know, £2.99. That's fine. Sort of £5 or less, I'll probably get it. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road has been suggested to me for my First Listens to series, so I might pay a bit more for that if I find that. But yeah, it's a really nice condition sleeve. This has got Part-Time Love and Song for Guy are the two singles that leap out to me on this one. Original inner, and the disc is flawless. I'd be surprised if this had been played more than once, if even once. It's clean as a whistle, no scratching of any sort on it. Bargain for £2.99. And then also for £2.99, Joe Jackson's I'm a Man. Again, I have a hits compilation, but I picked up in one of the charity shops last year. I enjoyed that. He's local. He comes from my hometown, so his stuff's easy to find around here anyway. But I saw lots of copies of this yesterday. I say I paid £2.99 for this. The cheapest, second cheapest I saw it for was for £8. So this was a good find. It has got writing on the sleeves, but that's not a problem. This has got It's Different for Girls on it. Obviously one of his big hits. Oh, and she's written on the disc as well. But again, this is really good condition. Again, clean as a whistle, no obvious scratches on the sleeve. Is coming apart a little bit, but that never bothers me. Regular viewers know I like picking up comedy records. This is for Secret Policeman's Other Ball. So this is a recording of the second, I think it was, Amnesty International show. Really good stuff on here. John Cleese, Rowan Atkinson, Jasper Carrot, Graham Chapman, Pamela Stevenson, Victoria Wood, John Fortune, Alan Bennett, Alexei Sale, Dame Edna Everidge, John Wells, Neil Innes, Chris Langham, Griff Rhys-Jones, Tim Brooke-Taylor, Billy Connolly. Plain black inner, but poly-lined, I think. Yep. Again. Yeah. Flawless. Apart from a bit of paper on that one, but that's not a problem. It's on the springtime label. Not familiar with. Yeah, that was $1.99. Interestingly, they had a copy when I was in there about a month ago. I picked up Jasper Carrott's The Stun album for 49p. They had another copy of it in there and they wanted $1.99 for that, so that was a bargain when I picked it up. And then I thought I'd give this one a go for $2.99. Double album, The Best of Basie, Count Basie and his orchestra. Again, it's got writing on the back. I have one Count Basie album, his album of Beatles covers, which I liked. I want to get more into jazz, but it's difficult to know where to begin. So something like this, it's a nice, easy way of doing so. This is on the Roulette label, nice label. And again, clean as a whistle. And that's a good thing with Oxfam, they do clean all their records and sort them out properly. A little bit of dirt on that one, but nothing that would affect play. Yeah, as the sticker on the front says, both discs in excellent condition. It's mainly from 6 sources. Some stuff recorded in New York in 1957, and then a different one that was recorded the day after that. Some stuff in New York, June and July 1960, New York, June, July 1960, but with different drummer, and then different horns. And then July 28th, 1961. I don't recognise, I don't think. Oh, Jumping at the Woodside rings a bell. Swinging the Blues, I can guess that's going to be a bluesy version of Singing the Blues. Yeah, that'll be interesting. So that was Charity Shop. So then, yes, I went round. It worked perfectly. I came out of Oxfam about 28 minutes past 10. So I walked back to the car, then to dump that lot, pick up my bigger bag, and head to Harmony Hall, where the Fareham Record Fair is. Got there about 10:35, given it had technically only been open 5 minutes. It was really busy already. Last time I went, which was 2 fairs ago, I got there about 25 past 10, walked straight in, even though technically they weren't open, it wasn't a problem, and there was nobody about. So I think everybody got there a bit earlier this time. Stalls were pretty much identical to last time I went. Couple of different ones, and there was an extra one in the middle. It sort of goes around the outside of the hall, but there's an extra table in the middle this time. First stall, actually these aren't in order, so that doesn't really matter, but first stall was one where I picked up a couple last time. He had some stuff I wanted, but his prices, all his stuff was priced up and then had reduced stickers on of a different price, but the initial prices were too high anyway, so the reduced stickers were either just about right or even then still a little bit too high. And a couple of discs I checked, I wasn't happy with the quality. And he was also doing this thing for some reason, was sticking photos in of the artist with most of the albums as sort of an added bonus, but what's the point anyway? So I didn't end up getting anything from him, but most of the other stalls I picked up something from that I had a proper look at. There was some that was sort of CD only, but I didn't bother going through. The stall in the middle I didn't pick anything up from, he just didn't have anything I wanted. And there was another stall that was mainly selling new vinyl, which was Heathen, and I sort of had a quick flick through, and it wasn't particularly cheap new vinyl, so I gave that a miss. But all the others, I think. Oh, and there's one that specialised in soul and R&B and that sort of stuff, which I flicked through, but he didn't have anything that particularly appealed. But yeah, everything else I think I've got something from. So these aren't in the order I went round. These are in the order they fell in my bag, if you like. But from one stall I picked up the 12-inch of Dire Straits Extended Dance EP. I never quite know what it's called. It's called EP and it's called Extended Dance Play. So whatever you want to call it. This is the one with Twisting by the Pool and Two Young Lovers on. And If I Had You. I picked this up on 7-inch from eBay about a year ago probably. But I've been keeping my eye out for the 12-inch. I don't know if the tracks are longer or if it's just better quality, you know, sound quality because it's on 12-inch. I don't know. We shall find out when I give it a spin. But yeah, happy to pick that up. Excellent condition. That was... what was that? That was £2? Yeah, £2. So I paid more than that for the 7-inch. Also from him, The Who's Live at Leeds at £8. I've no idea what issue this is. I'm guessing it's a later reissue. It hasn't got any of the extra material in there. It is just the disc and the sleeve. But it would do for a start for a classic album. It's in a polyline sleeve, which probably isn't original. It's sort of needs a clean, but condition-wise, there's a light scratch on going through my generation, but I don't think it's going to affect play. It might pop a bit, but yeah, happy to pick that up. Might do that. That might go in my first listens to series. I'm dithering over whether to include live albums in that. So we shall see. Oh, these bags are a nightmare. And then from the same guy, a couple of Shaky releases that I needed. This one, Shaky Stevens and the Sunset. I had this on cassette. It was one of the first albums I ever owned, but I've never had it on vinyl. There's a second sort of volume of this with a light blue cover that I have got. But yeah, so happy to find this for £1.50. Yeah, it'll bring back lots of memories when I listen to it, because I haven't listened to it for years since it was on cassette. This is on the Pickwick Presents Contour label. And again, vinyl wise, perfect. Funnily enough, this was another album I saw 2 or 3 more copies of that day. Yeah, when I went after here, I went elsewhere and I saw it elsewhere. This one, I've never even seen this album. This is Shakin' Stevens and the Sunsets at the Rock House. This is a very early album. On Magnum. I don't even know if this was £4. The vinyl's not in great condition, but since I've never seen it before, I wanted to get it, and it's only £4. It needs a good clean, it looks dirty, and it's covered in light scratches. Hopefully nothing that will affect play. But yeah, this was from 1980 and 81. 81 it must have been released. But it's all it's with the Sunset, it's all pre-Fame stuff. So yeah, that was from that stall. From another stall, I picked up one from my Bond soundtrack collection. That was View to a Kill. I have this on CD, but not on vinyl. This has got the Duran Duran song on it. It's not like modern Bond soundtracks where the theme songs aren't on the albums. So yeah, happy to get that. Again, sort of light marking, but nothing that should affect play. And then you may recall, if you watched my haul video from the last time I went to this fair, there's a stall that I never had a proper look at last time because it was really busy and I didn't quite understand why, but all his stuff, is out. But he limits it to 3 per customer, which I just can't see the logic of. I mean, having now bought his stuff, and I bought 3 from him. Yes, it's good stuff. It's not wow amazing stuff. And I just, surely you just want to sell your, the whole idea of being a business is to sell your stuff so that you make money. So why he limits it to 3 per customer, I don't understand. I mean, I probably would have been able to pick up certainly at least 2 more titles. So don't know, but yes, in the end, from him I limited it to Pearl by Janis Joplin with a Full Tilt Boogie Band. Really happy to pick this up. I have her greatest hits both on CD and album. I have Cheap Thrills, again 2 of sort of the normal release and then the expanded release on CD, both of those. And I have a Woodstock Record Store Day release from last year, but never owned Pearl. This was really immaculate condition. It's got the original Nice Price inner sleeve in there, which again is in immaculate condition. And then it's in its own polyline sleeve. It's on CBS. I mean, you wouldn't know it was a Nice Price reissue from a label, and it is perfect. It wouldn't surprise me if that had never been played. That was a £5, so can't argue with that. And then I think this was 15. He kept, they were all bagged up with all the stickers and everything on, but he kept the bags. He didn't even ask, he just took everything out. But yeah, I think this was 15. This is Scott Walker's Scott 2. I did see a copy of this on one of the other stalls prior, but it was falling apart and the record looked not in great condition. So grabbed this one because it looked good. I have this on, I have a box set of his 4, Scott 1, 2, 3 and 4 on CD, but not on vinyl. Jackie's on here, Plastic Palace People, The Girls and the Dogs, the ones that leap out. But yeah, nice copy. And this, apart from somebody's taped all around the edges, I don't think it's I think it was for protection rather than to hold it together. It does get him a sleeve in and out. It's got the original signed print in it, and then that must have been the original sleeve, and then it's like the other one, it's in its own polylined sleeve. On Phillips, and again I don't think I spotted anything wrong with this. Light again marking, but it should be fine. And then, let's sort that in a minute. The third one I picked up was a Joni I didn't have on any format. This is For the Roses. This is, the sleeve is immaculate. Naked Joni on the inside. The disc. Again, we have the original inner and a separate one. On Asylum, the disc, there is a little scratch at the start of side 1, but otherwise it's perfect. And that was £15. One of the other stalls also had this, but it didn't look as nice, and it was, might have been a couple of quid cheaper, but I didn't regret having picked it up. Can't get the original inner back in. Anybody else hate these sleeves where you slot it in the middle? Okay, and then there's another stall actually that I didn't pick anything up from. There was no organisation to it. It was just stuck randomly in record boxes, you know, carry case type ones. No theme to any of them. They weren't in alphabetical order. They weren't by style. They weren't even, you know, there was mixtures of 12 inches and albums together. And I sort of flicked through a couple and just gave up because it was too much hard work. But then the next stall I picked up is just nicely organised, all in alphabetical order. Squeezy's Cool for Cats is Price Busters reissue of this one. He saw that I picked this up and he said, oh, pointing to the stall I just left, he's got one in blue. I said, I don't care about the colour, I just want the album. Because if you may or may not be aware, but there's many different colour sleeves for this. Yeah, it's definitely a later reissue. It's very light, but it needs a clean, but otherwise no major markings on it, except possibly there. I'm not sure what will happen when that cleans up. I think that was priced at £8. A very dirty copy of Gilbert O'Sullivan's A Life and Rhymes. It's one of his 80s albums. None of his tracks leap out to me as being ones I know. This is on CBS. He'd left MAM by then. Again, needs a clean, but otherwise fine. I think that was priced at £3. He asked if he could keep the sleeves on these. I said, yeah, that's fine, no problem, because I've got plenty. This comes... Just realised how long this video is already, I apologise. This also comes with the lyric sheet. This... I think this was also £8 priced at. Mesopotamia from the B-52s. Produced by David Byrne. I can't find anywhere a date on this. Oh, yes, I can. I lied. 1982. I think this might have been their second album. But that's purely off the top of my head. Might be a bit later. It's got a bit of a scratch on side 1, track 1, and a couple of little marks on side 2. We shall see on that one. But it's not an album I see around much. Well, that was the first time I've seen it, so tells you that. Blondie's Eat to the Beat. Pretty much completes my early Blondie collection, but I do intend getting them all. Original inner from Chrysalis, and again needs a clean, but I think yeah, light markings, nothing major. This has got Dreaming, Union City Blue, Atomic. For singles. Yeah, I think that was 8 as well. And then Talking Heads, Little Creatures. Yeah, Little Creatures. I think this was a bit dear. I think this was 12, maybe. Might even have been 15. No, this was 15. But all these, so that's from Squeeze onwards, he let me have for 30 quid. Was it 30 quid? No, 25 quid. But yeah, a hair or some sort on it, but needs a clean, but looks scratch free. Yeah, this has got And She Was on it, was the big hit from this, and Road to Nowhere. This was sort of the first Talking Heads I heard, the singles from this. But yeah, so that was what, 15, 23, 31, 34, 39. Was it 25? Can't remember. He let me have it cheap. It was either 25 or 30 he let me have it for. I can probably work it out from this next one. 16, 31, 51. He definitely gave me 25. He let me have that lot for. Yeah, had a little chat with Simon, the co-owner of Heathen Chemistry. We had a chat about Record Store Day. Went round next door. I picked up from was Heart and Soul Records, and I picked up Squeeze's Argy Bargy. This has got Pulling Muscles from Michelle, Another Nail in My Heart. That's ones I recognise from there. Some A&M, and again, Practically Perfect. Another Talking Heads. This was, I think, their last album, Naked. I sort of remember this coming out and seeing the album cover anywhere. I can't remember any of the songs from it. I'm sure I must have heard Cool Water Rings a Faint Bell. It's got, I hadn't spotted this, but it's got a little credit sheet in there, and then the lyrics on the inner sleeve. And that is perfect, pretty much. Just needs a clean. Then the next one is another Talking Heads. Sorry, Argy Bargy was £6. This was 10. For another Talking Heads True Stories soundtrack for £15. I have this on CD, but I haven't heard it yet because it's in the box set with the film, and I haven't got that far in my to watch pile yet. But I did see this in the cinema. The Wild Wild Life is sort of the big song from it. Original inner. And again, needs a clean. It's only sort of, dust and hair on it. So yeah, that was 15. So what are we up to? 31 so far from him. Actually thinking about it, he didn't give me as much as a saving as I thought in my head he had. So it's up to 31. Basically he charged me £50 for this lot. because the last one was a £20 record. This was A Price on His Head by Alan Price. This is his first solo after he split up the Alan Price set, I think. It's got The House That Jack Built on it, Tickle Me, and The Biggest Night of Her Life, I think, were the 3 singles, if memory serves me correctly. But yeah, nice original Decca release. Inner sleeve was falling apart a bit, if memory... Stop saying if memory serves. Yeah, it was. So it's in a polyline sleeve, but I will replace that one on Decca. Nice to pick up an early Alan for my collection. I have it on CD. Yeah, it needs a bit of a clean, but otherwise should be fine. Yeah, so as I say, I came to £51. He charged me £50. But he had lots of good stuff on that store, and all seemed fairly priced. So that was the last store I picked up at the record fair. So I went and chucked that lot in the car, and then I went up to Heathen Chemistry, the record shop in Fareham, who organised the fair, and Steve was holding fort there. Only picked up 3 items there. All items I'd seen had come in on their regular What's Coming videos, and thankfully they hadn't sold. Really happy that this was still there. This is the 12-inch picture disc for Prince's Bat Dance from the Batman soundtrack. Falling apart a bit, but it is the original sleeve. And the B-side is 200 Balloons, the previously unreleased full-length version of that. There's an edit on the 7-inch. Yeah. It's difficult to tell with a picture disc. It sort of looks dirty, but I think it's just where it's not really a true black in the picture. And they would have cleaned and play tested it anyway. So I'm confident it isn't dirty, it just looks it. But how it will play remains to be seen, because picture discs can be funny, but that was purely for the collection one anyway. You know, it will be played once and then filed. Price up at $24.99, he charged me $20. Another Prince 12-inch, this is Girls and Boys, Backed with Under the Cherry Moon and Erotic City. I have this, I think I have about 2 or 3 copies of this. However, this has got the, as you can see, special limited edition personality poster, and this has got the poster, and it's a really nice one as well. Carefully unfold it. So it's the Parade album, no it's not, it's the Kiss cover. Live at Wembley Arena, Tuesday the 12th, Wednesday the 13th, Thursday the 14th of August, that'd be 1986. And then tickets priced £12.50 and £10, if only. So yeah, really, as soon as I saw that, I thought, well, I've got to have that. It's in really good condition as well. Practically immaculate. That was priced at $14.99. He charged me $10 for that, which is, you know, more than I would normally pay for just a standard 12-inch single. But the rarity of the poster was the selling point. And then the Jams All Mod Cons for my Jam collection, priced at $19.99. He charged me $15. So there wasn't much there I wanted, because it's only about a month since I was there anyway, and I picked up a fair few bits then, as you would have seen on my haul video. Nice mod label. Again, it wouldn't, although it has been cleaned, it's sort of picked up a bit of dust and fluff, so it will need another spin clean, but otherwise in excellent condition. So yeah, I had a little chat with Steve, and then I was still in the mood, so I went round to the Robin's Nest Emporium, which is, I have been there before and talked about it, but it is one of those shops where it's just a big, sort of like an antique centre, where there's lots of big shop that's full of little stalls, and they're all sort of numbered, and then whatever you buy you take up to the main desk and make sure it's charged to the right people. I'm sure you know what I mean. There's 3 sort of vinyl stroke music only little stalls, for want of a better phrase, in there, and then 4 or 5 other stalls that, amongst other shit, sell vinyl. Went through them. Nowhere had anything really that I wanted, apart from one stall had 2 Prince 12 inches. They had Raspberry Beret, and he wanted 20 quid for it, and it's only worth, 6 or 7, so that was a definite no. He had an interesting I Would Die For You, which I'd not seen before, which was in an interesting sleeve, sort of a white sleeve, black and white sleeve, and it was called the US mix, which I'm sort of aware of, but I've never actually seen, which I was tempted by, but again, he wanted too much for it. I think that was something like 18 or something like that. If it was a proper shop, I might have been able to haggle, but it's not that sort of place. So I didn't pick up those. But then I spotted another load of vinyl which I hadn't seen in there before, which is right by the counter. And I did pick up one from there, and that is Peter Gabriel's soundtrack to the film Birdie. This was £8. The cover's not in great condition, as you can see. The gloss is sort of coming off a bit. But the vinyl, I checked, it's on Charisma, and the vinyl was, if I recall, perfect. Just needed a clean. And it's only dust that needs cleaning from it. So I was happy to pick that up for my Peter Gabriel collection. So that was it. Yeah, long video, I apologise. But yes, that was a successful day's shopping. So that'll keep me going for a while, he says. Yeah, nothing else to say really. Thank you for watching. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on another video. Thanks. Bye.